Hey, welcome back to Power by 8 Racing YouTube channel. It is post-event day, not race day. It was just a HPD test and tune with Chin. The next event we're going to prepare for is Homestead with NASA. That'll be my first event of the season. They had a PBR event a couple weekends ago, last weekend. I don't remember which weekend it was, but I wasn't able to make that, which would have been the season opener. But oh well, Homestead will be our first event. That'll be for points. And so we need to go over the car and see if we need to change anything, which there's a couple things I'm going to do, a couple things I need to address, just looking the car over, which I haven't done fully, but I just saw some things just in putting it on the lift and whatnot. So we know we need to change the spark plug wires. We're going to go back to a stock set with the stock shields. And I'm going to check the alignment. I think that I have a problem with my intermediate shaft of my steering. So when we re-welded this, I think we re-welded it down here. You can't see it. But when I looked at a stock one, this joint and that joint were off a little bit. But I think when we welded it back together, we lined it up. And so I have a little bit of a bind. I don't feel it when I'm driving the car, but if I'm just sitting here and I turn the wheel, I can just feel it click one way, and then it's like it gets to another point, and then it clicks and it goes a little bit more. So I think when I'm doing my alignment, it's messing with it a little bit. So I'm gonna have to do that, and then I'll have to readjust the front toe. So that is something that I didn't like at the track. The steering wheel is off a little bit. I went back and adjusted it during that one break, if you saw the other video, and I went back out and I still had that little bit of a play. And I think that it's coming from those being aligned with each other, and it's just rotating and it's just misaligning that intermediate shaft a little bit. So I'm going to address that. I'm going to address the spark plug wires. The GPS, I need to fix that. We had a problem with the other video. I fixed the data for that for the next one. So at Homestead, we should be 100% with the overlays. And then we move the GPS antenna, transmissions, the vent is overflowing a little bit more than I like. So I'm gonna probably put a small transmission catch can on that just to catch any fluid. And I think that's, oh, the sway bars. We made a sway bar adjustment, and I have the FAD adjustable, so we have 3 positions in the back and 3 positions in the front. When we started the day, we were at 2 and 2. We moved the front one to 1 and left the rear one in 2. What I think I'm going to do is I'm going to put the front back in 2, and I'm going to move the rear one to 3, and hope that helps with the corner entry, or excuse me, mid-corner and exit. The car's just really, really floaty. And I can show you a picture of it, and it just felt like the car was just like, it was just really, really loose. It wasn't really tight. So I'm going to fix that. And really, I guess sway bars aren't really made for that part of the corner, but I think that'll help a little bit anyways. So I'm going to do that adjustment. Got the fire bottle back. Got to put that in the car. Now, we didn't have it for the last event, I know, but I had a fire extinguisher with me, handheld. Luckily, we didn't need it with that small fire. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling. So let me put you on hold. I'm going to grab my pad, write down everything that I know I need to accomplish, and we'll come back after I got that done.
Power by 8.
All right, so got my list. Like I said, we've got plug wires, the trans catch can, intermediate steering shaft, the alignment, sway bar, splitter. So I got a couple more splitters cut. I got to go pick them up from my buddy. But you can see this is what that, if you saw the last video, this is what happened with the splitter. So you can see this is the passenger side of the car. That's where the rods gave out and it drug pretty much the front nose all the way to the right, all the way through 17 to the front stretch, all the way to turn 1. And it got pretty marred up. So these are the titanium spacers I was telling you about, and that's what was sending sparks. You can see this one is maybe 1/4 of an inch, and I think they started at probably 1/2 of an inch or more. And so yeah, that's the splitter parts that were dragging the last time at Sebring. Fire bottle. Oh, the blinkers. I need to reprogram the blinkers. I kind of feel bad. With Chin, I guess all groups really, you can use blinkers instead of giving someone a point by and let them know what your intent is. So with my PDM, I have blinkers programmed in to flash 3 times. So I just put a button, they know that flash, 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 pass me on that side. I see you, go take it. The problem is that the way that it's wired on the filaments, since these are dual filament lights, the channel that's being used is for the running light, and it's too dim. So, you know, I was pushing the buttons to tell people to go around me at Sebring, and people weren't taking the pass. And I'm like, come on, guys, let's do it. Let's get out of the way. Come on. And so eventually I'd stick my hand out the window and I'd point them by like, yo, if you want it, take it. I come back in the pits and I started thinking like, did they see my blinkers or not? So lo and behold, sorry guys, I didn't realize that they were super dim. So once I change the programming to that in the PDM, I'll just see how I can do it with the brake lights so that it shares the same bright filament as the brake light would. And then I need to set up the homestead map in the Motec. It's supposed to do it by itself, but if I do it from the beginning, then it will save the file name with homestead in it automatically as well, like when I go to change everything. I just noticed that when we did the exhaust, I didn't put in the X pipe, I didn't put an exhaust bung in there where one of the O2 sensors used to be for my wideband with the HP tuners. I forgot to put a bung in there, a cap in there for the bung, so that's been open. And then just clean up the car. I want to weigh the car again, and then I found looks like one of the vacuum lines has a little bit of a leak, and so I'm gonna tighten it up, and that's all I see right now. So it shouldn't be too much. You know, a couple days. If I do it slowly, I could probably knock it down in a day if I really wanted to. A sneaky suspicion that the hub stands are giving me more camber than the car's giving me with the tires on. And if that's the case, I want to know so that I can find that delta, and when I have the hub stands on, I know that it's off by 3 or 4 or 5 or whatever the number is off by. I can address that when I make my alignment changes. I think that's it. I think that's everything I want to do right now before homestead. And if anything changes, then obviously I'll let you guys know. But I'm gonna get started on a couple of those things right now. All right, so we'll start with these spark plugs. So these front two, and I think one on the other side, were ones that failed on me. But what I need to do is take these off, and then I'm gonna clean this up. The catch can overfilled and got oil all over this, and that's why it was smoking through turn 17 and turn 1. I thought it was tire rub or something, but it ended up being oil. So the morning that I had the problem in that last video, this is the one that had burned up again for the second time that weekend. So we'll make sure to pay more attention to that spot for sure. Goodness. And I was about to lose another plug. That's incredible. Guess I'm glad I stopped when I decided to stop. So these stock plugs, just putting the shields back on them. I have never seen these before. I guess when I bought my car, they already had some spark plugs on it, or some MSD wires, and it definitely didn't have these shields on it that I remember. So anyways, I was told to run these again, and we'll see. Show you where I was talking. So right here you can see the X pipes. I have one on this side. I used to have an O2 sensor here. I took it out, and then I guess we forgot to put, I've had one of these floating around for years, so I'll throw that in there real quick and that one will be done. Alright, so moving on with what I need to get done, I'm going to move on to transmission overflow. It made a big mess. I guess the way I had it vented wasn't exactly perfect, so I need to pop off the aluminum cover I have over the trunk area, pull that out of the way, then I can get in there. I can clean everything up really nicely. I might have to run to the store, get some 5/16 line. I'm going to run that to a catch can, and then I'll just put that someplace where I can worry about it later. But this is the catch can. I think the camera makes it look a little bit bigger than it is, but it's only about 2.5 by 4 inches or so, so it shouldn't take up too much space. The plan right now is to put it on a frame rail. Hopefully I can just stretch it over to it. Then when I can access it, if I need to drain it, it'll be easy to do. And I'll move on to the next thing after that. Alright, so it's pretty tight confines here, but you can see where I put this. I had to turn it sideways. I wanted this to be taller. I want this to be higher than the then you can barely see it way back here. So that point, I wanted it to be higher than that. That way I had to travel uphill, so if it did boil over, it would catch in here. I don't anticipate this filling up. Even with it being sideways, it's still gonna be, you know, almost half full before it would even leak out of here. But I can inspect that throughout the day, because all I gotta do is peek under, and yeah, that's it. So check this off the list. All right, let's go on now to the next thing on the list. Fire bottle. All right, we got the nozzle in for that. So yeah, let me pull the passenger seat out and we will get the fire bottle put back in the car. Alright, moving right along. I think that I have one more small thing that I didn't talk about at the beginning, that just because it came in the mail in between, and that's because it came in the mail after I started this. So it's fire bottle, and that is, this is my new Krontech, I don't know, that's how you say it, some German company. Anyways, it's a new quick release. The nice thing about this quick release for the steering wheel is that it has electronics connectors built in, so I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to use it, but I'm not going to do the wires because you get to build some spacers off the back of the steering wheel so that the wires and stuff can do, and it becomes a whole nother process, but I'll do another video when it's time for that. But the nice thing about this, minus it having that, is it's you can see that it's shaped, so this only goes on the right way, and that's it. And it's a pretty nice tight fitting piece. But I'm going to take these out so I don't ruin them until it's time to use them. There's just a small Allen set screw that comes all the way down through this shaft here, and then that should release this. And then once it's time to use those, I'll put them back in. So, right. So I actually need to take this button out too. What we noticed was that with it being here, as I'm driving the car, if I'm trying to talk to I can't shift if I'm in. Yeah. So anyways, we're gonna move it over here. Makes more sense that I can talk to the pit and shift if I need to. So we're gonna move that button over here, and then eventually I'm gonna get a plate made, and then we'll get it raised. I'll get some more buttons put on here, and that'll be how this goes. I'm going to put some blue Loctite on this also. Alright, I think that knocks out another part of the list. Yeah, I mean, now it's just down to the alignment, weighing the car, setting up some things on the map, and that's it. I guess I'm going to end it here. What I plan on doing, I think, is I'm going to make an alignment video separate where I can just at least walk through a little bit of what I do for my alignments. Alright, thanks for watching this episode. I know it wasn't the most exciting and entertaining one. You just get to kind of see what happens after I get home from the track and things I got to go through and button up and tidy up. I think that we'll drop this video and get to an alignment video. Alright then. Like, subscribe, share, comment, all that good stuff. See you guys next time.
Powered by the old show.